Alrighty, I saw a great question in the Half Size Me community on our private Facebook page, and I thought I'd record a quick video on this. It was somebody who is maintaining their weight loss, which makes me super excited, and they have a window of say 147 to I think it's like 152. And this person stepped on the scale and they were 153, a pound over their top end of their scream weight. And so I totally get the initial impulse is to freak out and it's, as she put it, go back into full throttle diet mode. And what I want to encourage you with maintenance is it's not, if you imagine driving a car, it's not pulling hard to the right and hard to the left like you might when you are trying to lose weight initially. It is a more gentle correction with the wheel. It's ever so slightly to the left, it's ever so slightly to the right. Very small millimeter changes, not big drastic changes. So what I encouraged her to do was tighten up on your habits, like really know the habits that tend to affect your weight the most. Maybe it's eating out, maybe it's having too many treats, maybe it's not eating enough protein and vegetables, or needing to eat a certain amount of protein and vegetables. Whatever those habits are, tighten those up for a couple days. See if your weight settles back down into your goalpost, which in this case might be 147 to 152. Then if that doesn't work, if you tighten up your habits, you get really laser focused on your behaviors and the weight doesn't trickle back down, we want to make small nuanced changes. So for example, if you're eating up at around 2,000 calories and you're up above your scream weight, drop it a couple hundred. Just drop it down to 1,800 for a few days. It'll drop you back into your range. But we don't want to do a massive, impactful things when we're in maintenance, because for most of us, it's just going to be the ever so slight tweak that's going to get you where you want to go. Now, going back to the video I recorded before when I used the analogy of surfing, this is what we were talking about when I talk about flailing around in the water, losing the grip on your surfboard, all that good business. When people go full on diet throttle mode, what that really means is a lot of restriction, a lot of pain, a lot of anguish. I'm really going to make myself pay for being a pound over my high end of my goal weight, and I want to, or my weight range, and I want to encourage you not to do that. What I typically see when people do this is they spiral in a negative way. So if you get too restrictive, imagine holding a handful of beach sand, okay? If you cup your hand and leave it open, right, you can actually hold way more sand than if you were to take that hand and tighten it up into a fist, because what will happen is the sand will spill out between your fingers. But if you cup your hand and you cradle the sand gently, you will hold on to more of it. We, unfortunately, due to our history with dieting and weight loss, tend to be the type of people who grip onto things and want to squeeze. I'm going to encourage you not to do that, and to be the kind of person who gently cups the sand to preserve more. So I'd rather see this person staying at 153 and cleaning up their habits, actively maintaining 153, and then as they come into a position where they can, maybe cut out a couple desserts a week, maybe reduce a couple hundred calories per day. Nothing crazy drastic. We don't need to do a cleanse. We don't need to do a detox. We don't need to go and start skipping meals. You don't have to do any of that. What I learned in the 8 years I've been maintaining is that the slight millimeter tweaks will keep you in your brackets. You want to think of your low end and your high end of the weight as being brackets, goalposts. You want to stay within those goalposts. That's all you want to do. It doesn't matter if you're at the tippy top of your goalpost, at the bottom of your goalpost, somewhere in between. You just want to stay in there. And what we all do is we beat ourselves up. Well, if I just did this one thing, I would be at the low end of my goalpost. No, you're just living within the goalposts. It doesn't matter where you fall as long as you're staying within those two goalposts. When you start to cross out, like I was doing back in October 2019, that's when you may need to start to take a look at what's going on. Like if you're 5 pounds over your goalpost, you see you're getting outside of that bracket, that means that something maybe needs to change, right? But again, you don't have to go crazy restrictive. I've been losing, it's going to basically be within a year, maybe 15 pounds in a year, getting it all back off. It's all, you know, where else am I going? What else is happening, right? Like you're maintaining your weight for the rest of your life, whether you do it in a year or whether it takes you 2 months or whether it takes you 2 weeks, it doesn't really matter. You're still doing the same behaviors day in and day out. It's not like you get to escape from it. So you see what I mean? Like there's no sense of, I gotta do this as fast as can be or else, right? Da, da, da. There is no or else. You can gently course correct, clean up habits first. Usually that's the number one thing. Number two, if that's not bringing you back into your range, try dropping a couple hundred calories off. If you aren't tracking calories, try letting go of a couple treats per week, or maybe cutting a meal back by a third or a half. See if that produces the weight loss and gets you into the range. But you don't want to do really crazy drastic things, because that's not something you're probably going to want to do time in and time out. And you may find several times you're at the top end of your weight range. There may also be times you're really sick or something happens and you lose a bunch of weight. That can also occur. So just want to encourage the maintainers out there that you can do this without feeling like you got to go full diet throttle. You guys have a great one, and please like and subscribe to me on YouTube. If you have any questions you want me to cover in an upcoming video, you can always post it below the video, and I will do my best to get you a video in the future. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.